I always try to really plan on playing a new piece throughout like a season, at least one season. Because, I mean, it's like, imagine only hearing like Mozart's 40th Symphony one time. Like, what a shame, right? Like, we learn from the history of it. We learn from gaining that time and letting also the piece like accrue interest with the time that it's sitting there.
Yeah, and it might be that the audience for that piece, for example, or if you want to talk about a string quartet, you want to talk about first Ligeti string quartet, you talk about any of the Bartók string quartets, the fourth string quartet or whatever. Maybe that first audience wasn't receptive to it, but maybe another audience would be receptive to it. But because it failed the first time, then to say the piece is dead is kind of tough. Even like when you have a movie that comes out, right? Yeah. The movie comes out not to one theater, usually, right?
Right.
I mean, the movie comes out thousands of theaters, and then the aggregate kind of tells you whether the movie was good or not.
Yeah.
Or, the box office, if you want to call it that. But even if you take the aggregate of, the number of reviewers, but with new music, often there's not like an opportunity for that because the sample size of the audience is so small.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's an orchestra piece and there's 2,000 people there, I mean, that's still crazy small. I mean, how many people have heard, the Bartók Concerto for Orchestra by now?
Right.
Or even within the first couple of years of that piece being, I mean, thousands, and maybe millions by now.
Right.
So it's hard because, some pieces don't deserve that.
Yeah.
There are pieces that I've written, definitely I don't want to hear again. I'm not saying every piece deserves that, but it's hard to figure out which are the pieces that deserve it. Right. So it takes the performer usually to make that decision.
Yeah. And I think that's also been sort of part of my philosophy. I do my best to play a lot of different types of new music because, like, we don't really know, you know what I mean? Like, what's music over time, what's going to stick over time. And in some way, I don't really feel like it's like my responsibility to judge that. Like, my job is to play the music as well as I can, and to bring something to as it's coming to life. And I try to really stop it there. And I try to get as much stuff out there as possible because it's like there's so many amazing, I think even more so now than ever, like so many amazing voices that like just need to be heard, and they just need those chances to have their pieces played a few times and like to hear what it sounds like and like what we're talking about, like that feedback, and they can also get that feedback and bring it to their next piece. It's just like it's a process. And it's like you said, like Ligeti coming out of Bartók, like it's a lineage, it's a process. Like as we go through life, there are different things that we experience, and that changes how we approach our music making too. And I think like I've tried much more now to embrace that as part of like just like development and growth, instead of feeling like it has to like be there like every single time.